So this is a video for the women. But first, a question: are you in covenant with God, or are you in covenant with Baal? So Revelation 5:9-10. And they sung a new song, saying, Thou art worthy to take the book and to open the seal thereof. For thou wast slain, and hast redeemed us to God by thy blood, out of every kindred and tongue and people and nation, and hast made us unto our God kings and priests, and we shall reign on earth. And this is actually quoted from Exodus 19:5-6. And it reads, or it says, Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests. So kings and priests. And an holy nation. These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. And as of now, the spiritual children of Israel, or the house of Israel, are the Christians, or I would say actually even the lost sheep of Israel are in the Christian churches, which are being fed lies and the false gospel of you don't need to keep the Ten Commandments, you don't need to keep the covenants, the conditions of the covenants, which will actually get you to be in covenant with God, which that just doesn't make sense. So from Romans 8:15, it says, For ye have not received the spirit of bondage again to fear, but ye have received the spirit of adoption, whereby we cry, Abba, Father. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God, and if children, then heirs, heirs of God, and joint heirs with Messiah, if so be that we suffer with him, that we may be also glorified together. How can you cry Abba, Father, if you don't even keep his covenant, if you don't even actually listen to your father? Because then it actually means that he's not your father, but your father is actually the devil. Because you are rebelling against God, and that is what he did as well. And so also, being joint heirs with the Messiah, what did the Messiah do? And what did he always teach us? That was to keep the Ten Commandments. And what did he always do? He was always rebuking sin. And he was, of course, healing people, but he will heal them first spiritually, and then physically they'll be healed too. And he would say that we should pick up our cross, which is the staff of authority, and to follow him. That means that we first take out the log of our own eyes by keeping the Ten Commandments and eating clean. And then with that staff of authority, we teach others to do so. Matthew 5:19. This is what it means to actually walk with him, to also, in a way, suffer with him. Why suffer with him? Because nobody wants to hear the truth. Nobody wants to actually keep that covenant. They don't want to do it. So even like in the prophets, they say, and God is telling them that joining onto his covenant, then we'll be in covenant. Okay, let's go to Isaiah 14. It reads, For Jehovah will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. See, if you join unto the house of Israel, unto the house of Jacob, and those are actually the people who keep the Ten Commandments and eat clean and fulfill the royal law, if you do the same, then you will be in covenant. That is actually what it's basically saying. But let's go to 56. It says, Thus saith Jehovah, keep ye judgment and do justice, for my salvation is near to come. My Yeshua is near to come. and my righteousness, which are the 10 Commandments, to be revealed. Blessed is the man that doeth this, and the Son of Man that layeth hold on it, that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and keepeth his hand from doing any evil. So let's just stop here. Why the Sabbath? Why does he ask that? Because he's going to ask it and say it a lot in 56. So let's go back to Exodus. So chapter 31, verse 12. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbath my Sabbath ye shall keep. And for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generation, that ye may know that I am Jehovah, that doth sanctify you. Ye shall keep the Sabbath thereof, therefore. For it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of the rest. Okay, what does Yeshua always say? Come all ye who are weary, and I will give you rest. But that does not mean that you should not keep the Sabbath as Yah has said it to be. Okay, so it further reads, Holy is Jehovah. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generation for a perpetual covenant. Okay, perpetual covenant. It is a sign between me and the children of Israel forever. For in 6 days Jehovah made heaven and earth, and on the seventh day he rested and was refreshed. So Yah is telling us, God is telling you, keep his Sabbath. Just keep his Sabbath, it will be a sign unto you and him. But you would rather listen to a Jeremiah 23 scribe, pastors, shepherds from Ezekiel 34. You would rather listen to them, who is literally like Satan, who is literally like the devil. You know what, Eve, eat from that fruit. You shall not surely die. While God is literally telling us here, keep the Sabbath. Just keep the Sabbath. Yeshua kept the Sabbath. Okay, it would not make sense for him to say, go ahead and do, you don't need to, you can just choose your Sabbath. Just choose any of the other days and just do that Sabbath. No. Like, that is a whole contradiction. Okay? If you just don't do that already, you're not in covenant with God. You're just not in covenant with God. And you're actually already in covenant with Baal. But let's further read Isaiah 56. So from verse 3, neither let the son of stranger that joined himself to Jehovah speak, saying, Jehovah has utterly separated me from his people. Neither let the eunuch say, behold, I am a dry tree. For thus saith Jehovah unto the eunuchs that keep my Sabbath, and choose the things that please me, and take hold of my covenant. Those eunuchs are actually those who keep the key of David. I have a video about it, so please feel free. Actually, just please watch the video. It will be expounded upon. Even unto them will I give in my house and within my walls a place and a name better than the sons and of daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. That everlasting name, you can find it, and it is quoted in Revelation 3 to the spirit of the Church of Philadelphia. And so further, it does literally expound on that we should keep his holy covenants. But I think I'm going to make a part 2 video so that we can further expound upon that. So it's a part 2 from the previous video. We were in Isaiah 56:6. Also the sons of strangers, those are actually the Gentiles, the heathens, that join themselves to Yahovah to serve him and to love the name of Yahovah, to be his servants. Servants are those who actually do the work. Mark 13, Ezekiel 2, 3, and 33. That is to warn people to be in covenant with God by telling them that they need to keep the Ten Commandments, eat clean, and fulfill the royal law. Those are what servants are, and that is what they do. Everyone that keepeth the Sabbath from polluting it, and take hold of my covenant. Even them will I bring to my holy mountain, and make them joyful in my house of prayer. Their burnt offerings and their sacrifices shall be accepted upon the altar, for mine house shall be called a house of prayer for all people. In Proverbs 28:9 it says that those who do not hear the law, even their prayers will be an abomination in God's eyes. So if you do not obey the law, if you do not obey the Ten Commandments, if you don't follow them, even your prayers are an abomination to God. Okay, those are like those who are actually in covenant with Baal, which is Jesus, winter solstice demigod, which is Satan. So let's go to Jeremiah 30. So Jeremiah 31 verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith Jehovah, that I will make a new covenant, a refreshed covenant, with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them out of by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, for then sacrificial law was added. Although I was an husband unto them, saith Jehovah, but this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith Jehovah. I will put my law, which are the Ten Commandments, in their inward parts, and write it upon in their hearts, and will be their God, and they shall be my people. And this is like the condition that you guys have to keep in order to be in covenant with God. And so in Ephesians 2:12 it is further like explained by Paul. We were first Gentiles, we were first strangers to the covenants of promise, which are the Ten Commandments and eating clean, but not anymore, for now we are in the commonwealth of Israel. That means that if you want to be in the commonwealth of Israel, meaning also being in covenant with God, you need to keep the Ten Commandments and eat clean, and also fulfill the royal law, teaching others to do the same. Okay, so then let's go to Ezekiel 20, start with 21. Notwithstanding the children rebelled against me, they walked not in my statutes, neither kept my judgments to do them, which if a man do, he shall even live in them. They polluted my Sabbath. Then I said, I will pour out my fury upon them to accomplish my anger against them in the wilderness. So literally he tells us, God is very, very clear. He tells us, if you want to be in covenant, you keep the conditions. Those are the Ten Commandments. But yet they are those who would rebel, and they would just pollute the Sabbath. Which if you do the Sabbath, you will have the sign, you will have the mark of God, and you will not receive the mark of the beast. And I just don't understand, honestly, I just don't understand why people would not do it. So let's see those who are actually in covenant with Baal. Let's go to that. Let's go to Daniel. So in Daniel it says, verse 28, we'll read from there. Then shall he return into his land with great riches, and his heart shall be against the holy covenant. Yeah. So who are those who don't even now keep the Holy Covenant? He shall do exploits and return to his own land. At the time appointed he shall return and come towards the south, but it shall not be as the former or as the latter. For the ships of Shittim shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved and return and have indignation against the holy covenant. So shall he do. He shall even return and have intelligence with them that forsake the holy covenants. So in all the Christian churches in this world right now have gained intelligence and have forsaken the holy covenants by believing in Jesus, who is Baal, who teaches that you should not keep the 10 commandments and you will still go to heaven. So just trying to see the parallel between what happened in the Garden of Eden with Eve, the serpent saying, "Thou shalt not surely die." Now the same thing is happening. Ooh, Jesus died on the cross for you. You don't need to keep the 10 commandments because that's what he died for. No, the scriptures are just very clear. This is why you should also read line upon line, like Isaiah 28, 9-13 says, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, here a little, there a little. So it already says here very clearly. And also, the real Messiah did not make himself to be God. He did not make himself to be God, because that would be already breaking like the first commandment. Okay, that would be breaking the first commandment. That would be exalting himself above God. And we know, like, he says that himself. There's only one that is good. But Lucifer, but Satan, he made himself unto God. So Jesus is now your God. You guys believe that he is God. And it says it like somewhere here, verse 36, and the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished. For that is determined shall be done. That's just, like, it really actually says it here. It's very clear into what kind of a God that you're believing. You do not follow the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You don't follow the Messiah. Don't follow the shepherd. But like your father, who is Baal, you're literally following his doctrine. Do what thou wilt. That is literally what you are actually following. I just pray that you guys start to keep the 10 commandments. I don't want you guys to go through tribulation that is about to come, where at the last minute, which is why you see all the wars going on in Jerusalem, because they themselves did not fulfill the royal law as they should have done in the first place. They allowed Christmas and Easter in that land, and now God is punishing them with wars. I just hope y'all just repent and turn to God. He's just very clear with his words. He's just very clear. Yeah.